Welcome to SFH Presents One More Podcast.
Welcome to SFH Presents One More Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Polk, here with my co-host, Ty Southern.
Hey.
No guests today. We just wanted to go. It's been a while. Ty's been through a shit ton lately. Been in and out of places. You've missed a couple of episodes, which was, at times, I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I think I did fine. But, man, there were a lot of times throughout that I was like, fuck, dude. I need Ty right here. I need him to fill in. I need him to say some shit.
I need some happy shit in this part.
And you got a lot of words sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I do
a lot of
rant
words
here and there.
We're not medical professionals. If we get into a lot of mental health things, which we intend to do most episodes a little bit, but reach out to someone far more qualified than us,
please.
Anyway, so what's been up, dude?
It's been a month. One, I apologize for my absences, but I've had an obnoxious flagpole since 2011, and hurricanes galore have come through. And for some reason, last month, the flagpole got struck by lightning, and things that were plugged into surge protectors were not protected. So yeah, the TV that I just got in February, the TV I replaced was 13 years old. And I bought a brand new 10 inches bigger one in February. It got fried.
Didn't you tell me? Was I dreaming, or did you tell me that all the things on the surge protector got fried, but the surge protector itself is working perfectly good and there's nothing wrong with it?
Yep.
What?
It still got a little red light and everything. But my DVD player, the cable box, the Wi-Fi due to it being connected to that system, and the TV, because they were on when the lightning struck, it got all fried up. And
damn, man.
And then insurance was like, it's an act of God thing, and I was like, sweet. And the warranty people were like, it's an act of God thing, and I was like, sweet. So I bought a brand spanking new version of the TV I just got. And it's laying in there. I gotta put it just came this morning. I gotta put the little legs on because I can't mount it to the wall.
Why don't you do some sleazy white trash shit that I've definitely done before? Throw the burnt up TV into the brand new box, take it back, get your money back. Be like, it doesn't work, dude. I don't know what's wrong with it, bro.
At this point, I've been on the line with the warranty people for too long. I feel like they'd smell me coming. But maybe I definitely want to take it out back and shoot it.
Well, that's another idea.
The state of Florida won't care as long as the sun's still up.
You could take it outside, shoot it, put it on TikTok, and then make back the money that you put into buying the TV.
Hell yeah. I'd have to borrow the 12 gauge. I don't have it anymore. And I have ones that'll, for home defense reasons, will stop a person very well. But right. I don't have the 12 gauge or any of that anymore. That all went with Ashley.
That would be much more exciting to see it shot with a 12 gauge.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to get a
227.
Yeah, I was gonna. And dude, I have the PS90. I don't even know what caliber the round is. It's like a 22, but has more velocity. So it sounds like it's got a silencer from a movie. It's a little space gun.
All it's going to do is just rip through it and not even show anything.
It won't
just
do nothing.
A fucking hole.
Yeah, and then I have AR-15, so 5.56 round either way. But no, I definitely want to get the slugs, get the 12 gauge from Ash. My ex-wife took that with her, which is fine because it's a pistol grip and everything. Like, it's not the easiest thing for me to manage.
Yeah.
Fun story about Ashley, real quick. That just boom right in my head. The 12 gauge. Our neighbors this way are also a legless man and his wife and kids. And for,
not the guy,
not Brandon, not our guest that was on episode.
What does he live 2 doors down?
Yeah, he's 2 doors down.
Was it a whole fucking neighborhood of legless?
There's 3 of us. There's 3 of us on the same street.
That's unreal.
We almost changed it to legless lane, but they called us and were saying, "Hey, some motion sensor thing went off in the house. Could you go check on the house, please? They were out of town." Ash got the 12 gauge, pulled on like UGG fuzzy boots, and was out 7-8 months pregnant with Damon. Went hauling across the street through the grass, door and cut through the grass. Like, didn't even mess with the street or nothing. I could still see her pregnant, high knees with the damn 12 gauge. She went around. I freaking took the wheelchair around and, you know, had her back. Basically, it was hilarious. I was like, if something goes down, I'm gonna be right there. But Jesus, she went with the quickness. It was a cool one.
That's hilarious. So I guess it was nothing.
No, it ended up, yeah. She didn't have to murderize nobody or nothing, but it was, one of those.
You can get away with a lot of shit in Florida with a gun.
I don't know very well. I don't know that you could go into your neighbor's house that's being broken into and shoot a villain who's breaking into your neighbor's house.
That's a good question.
All of me feels like you'd probably get in some trouble for that one. And as far as I understand, if they're not facing you, it's a problem. Like if they're in the house but are trying to exit, you're not allowed to shoot them in the back, I think, is one of the rules.
Dude, it's gotten so crazy with some of the laws regarding shit like that, like especially in I know in Boston and especially on the West Coast, where now it's like shoplifting is just completely
up to like $1,000. Go ahead.
Right, you can just go ahead and fucking steal shit. And it's causing these companies to go out of business. I watched this video of this black community in Boston where they were going to shut down the Walgreens because the theft was so high, and there was also just a lot of criminal activity in the area. And they started protesting the Walgreens as if they owed them being open and being there because they needed them in the community. It's like, well, clean the shit up then.
I remember the whole, like, this is the only one of these kinds of stores for medications in this kind of in this neighborhood. Yeah. If this goes, we got to go this many towns over or whatever. And I'm like, police your community then? Like, what else do you do in that situation? Yeah.
Clean up your shit. They're a for-profit company. They're not there for your fucking convenience. I mean, they are
it is
as long as there's a back end of it.
But yeah, they don't do it out of the kindness of their hearts. It's not a nonprofit. It's not a 501c3. They are in the business of making money, and a lot of their stuff is cheapo stuff for the most part, anyways. But yeah, you can go get your pictures produced or freaking.
People have just lost their fucking minds, dude. You see the riots going on in LA right now?
I appreciate you calling them riots because I keep hearing protests this and
protest
oh my God,
my ass,
first
dude.
It's the First Amendment. Why are they doing this to our First Amendment? And I'm like, Molotov cocktails and burning shit and busting things down and tearing shit up and throwing fireworks into crowds and throwing homemade Molotov cocktail. But yeah, I've seen some of these clips that are just, that is domestic terrorism. That is not a protest. The moment it becomes violent, it's a riot. It is no longer a protest.
And
if you're there and
crazy.
You are in the mindset of peaceful protests, go away. Like, leave now, because you are no longer in a peaceful protest. Like, you are in a riot, and they are going to throw tear gas at you just like they're going to throw it at everyone else. Because, literally, domestic terrorism. I keep hearing that one too, though. Remember your oath, service members who are getting called into California right now for martial law reasons. And I'm like, no, like, that's not what's happening. Martial law has not been declared. Like, no one has said that. And their oath is all enemies, foreign and domestic. That is their oath. So when you start throwing shit and being dangerous, you are officially their enemy. Like,
no, and I've watched numerous videos. I follow people that are on the ground, and both there and in Seattle, where they're constantly protesting shit, constantly protesting whatever the fuck they can, and it's just a reason for them to go and virtue signal with their fucking full masks. I mean, you stand for something, but you can't fucking show your face, and. To start with, the fucking reasons why these people do the things they do are so misguided and full of bullshit. The fact that you can't logically think through the things that you're doing. You just want to go fucking destroy shit and cause problems.
Yeah.
And the restraint, dude, they will push the cops to the fucking breaking point, and the cops will still not break. And then eventually something happens, and now all that's just bad cops, bad government, bad whatever. And dude, this is coming from someone who's been a fucking, a punk rock rebel my entire life.
Anti-establishment
Fuck the
guy.
establishment. Fuck the government. But there within reason. There's still a point of like we need order and to some degree. We need laws to some degree, and these fucking people with their misguided reasons are taking to the streets and getting in cops' faces and throwing tires in front of their cars and doing all this bananas ass shit. Throwing rocks bricks.
through windows. Rocks through windows. Yeah, you are no longer peacefully protesting. If you're, I've saw more videos of rocks being thrown through windshields and driver windows of non-military or agency vehicles, non-police vehicles, non-official stuff, freaking civilian vehicles. And I'm like, that person's just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, like trying to get out of your face and their face because they don't want to get caught in the middle. And you're gonna freaking you have no moral high ground anymore when the violence starts. And again, for the people who are 100% peaceful protests, you need to hear us. We're going to stand here until you hear us, all that good stuff. Do you? I love you. That's your First Amendment right as an American. And I fought for it and died for it a couple times. Like, do you? But the second you start throwing rocks and shit, don't get mad when you get tear gassed or fucking butt stroked or something or handcuffed and stuffed in the back of, for lack of a better word, a paddy wagon. Like, because you've officially broken the law in a real ass way. That, again, domestic terrorism. That's not a little one. Look it up. Like, that's a that's one of them ones, man.
And part of the problem is, especially out west, where the judicial system is part of the woke mind virus and part of the Trump derangement syndrome, that these fucking people will let them off and not punish them with anything.
Yep.
Where like one of the guys I follow, I think his name's Cam Higbee. He's had GoPros and other shit stolen, broken, and they do nothing. They do it right in front of the cops. Cops do nothing. If he files a report, they do nothing. If it goes to court, they do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like they just allow it to happen as if somehow this is a good thing in the long run.
Yeah.
And it's
go ahead. No, it comes back to being misinformed as fuck too, because I've seen more than one person trying to explain that these cops and these National Guardsmen and these agents and none of these people have any right to be here. This is a sanctuary city. Blah, 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 blah. A sanctuary city does not mean that you don't fall under federal law at all. It doesn't even mean you don't fall under state law. It means they passed local ordinances that literally say, we won't ask you about your immigration status. If shit goes down, that is one thing we'll never do. They have local ordinances that say, we will not ask about your immigration status. The end. You still fall under the state's laws and the freaking country's laws. You cannot escape that. Sorry. And again, you think being violent in response to something that you think is wrong still is going to result in you being handcuffed and put in jail. Like, sorry about it.
it's just sad that at the root of all these things, there's good things and bad things. Most situations are pretty nuanced. They're not simple. They're not white and black. You can't just go in and say, well, we can't deport people. We should deport people. If they're here illegally, they should be deported. Every country in the fucking world does the same thing.
Every single one. Japan straight up won't let people immigrate because they are wanting to stay as Japanese as possible in Japan. And at no point am I like, you racist bastards. Like, how dare you? Why can't I live in your country? And I'm like, I don't really want to. I'd like to visit for sure. But like, they want to keep it Japanese, and that is their prerogative.
But the way people
we're a melting
see
pot
this
on purpose. We want immigration. We just want it right. I am pro immigration all day. I am pro immigration, and I am pro the immigration system being streamlined safely.
Yep.
Like whatever it is, I'm sure Doge adjacent. There's a lot of fucking shit and steps and layers that don't need to be there. You know, like
for sure, dude. Streamline the process, speed it up because
without endangering and like make the vetting still good, but drop unnecessary freaking layers because people who are escaping persecution or these terrible lives, and that's everyone's big excuse. They need to come here because they don't have anything where they're at, and then just build where you are. We can't fucking do that. Whatever, do it right, and come on, I'll welcome you with open arm. But the whole sneaking in and getting mad when you get kicked out, Try that at any bar, club, movie, concert, whatever. Sneak in without a ticket and let security catch you. And they're, oh no, I'm a human. I'm allowed to be here. And I'm like, no, you didn't pay money. You didn't do it the right way, the right legal way. Bye. Outside you go.
I think one of the biggest problems is that because everyone's so ideologically separated, because everyone's so divided, and they think they have to toe the line of whatever fucking party they're on. We get in this situation where they look at someone who says, yes, we need to deport illegal immigrants as a hateful and non-compassionate person. I'm 100% compassionate for the people that are trying to get out of a bad situation and into a better situation. I have compassion for them. I have empathy. I also have empathy for people who have snuck into the United States, created a life, and now got to leave. I feel for them.
That sucks.
But you still have to have order, and you have to have laws.
You have to wear what you earn. You didn't do it. You technically broke the law. Yes, you only came here to live a life and raise your family away from the persecution of the cartels or the poorness or the ruralness of whatever it was, the violence, the everything. You were escaping that, and I feel for you big time for sure. But you ultimately broke a law and got caught doing it. So you have to wear what you earn.
And the law is a good law. It's an important law to having a safe and productive country, dude.
Boom.
You
cannot just leave the doors open. It is not because you will get a whole bunch of MS-13 and a whole bunch of terrible, terrible, terrible people who are escaping.
And fentanyl and people just sponging off of our government by causing us to have to pay for everything that they do.
They're going to pay us how much to do this? All I got to do is vote blue? Okay. Fuck.
Meanwhile, how many homeless veterans are there not getting taken care of? How many people are there in this country that are American citizens, born and raised, that aren't being taken care of because the money's being funneled to people that just got here illegally? Like it's just a logic and reason thing. It's not an emotional thing. The emotional side of it, I feel you, but
100% hope, wish, pray that the process gets smoother, easier,
right? So that the right people make it. And
like that there may be like a waiting station kind of thing. Like I don't fucking know. Like so that they can get out of where they're going, but also not come here right away without being vetted properly. Because, when we start letting in all these refugee migrants and then all you're seeing is military-age males, no women, children, no nothing.
Yeah, well, that's the part that people seem to miss. The 50,000 military-age Chinese men that have snuck across the border. Now, if you were gonna start a force of people and tell them on this day, get together and we're gonna have a 50,000 strong force, you want to be invaded? You think it's bad now? Try living in China, dude. Yeah.
I would say 50,000 is a great deal of people.
If they mobilize together,
60,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could make a pretty damn big impact.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just logic and reason that goes out the window for people because of feelings, I don't think that you should just ignore the emotional aspect of how you feel about these things.
But it also shouldn't dictate things.
Right, exactly. It should be a balance of the both.
Yeah, letting your emotions run you in a logical situation is asinine. Your emotions are supposed to lead you when you are expressing yourself artistically or loving your family or whatever, or fighting for your family. You're leading with love in that. But when it is something as logical as laws, like you cannot lead only with your heart. Like you've got to put your head in there. Your head has to be in the fucking mix.
Well, I watched a video the other day where there was some area where they mobilized some FBI agents and they were in full gear and they had the big fucking monster truck and shit. You know what I mean? Like they pull up to some establishment to arrest a couple of dudes, right? People start in the street, just start gathering, protesting, screaming, shouting, getting in their way, getting in their face, like doing horrible things to protest because what they think is it's just ICE. Turned out it was the two guys were foreign and they were here illegally, I believe, but they were also drug dealers on a major level. So like what you're fighting for is for that to remain in your community. and it's like your logic circuit is fried. Like
Well,
you've lost all reason.
So, as someone who doesn't kiss his grits like a lot do, but overall, I voted for him. I think he's overall doing what he was voted to do. But so much of all of the pushback and the fight and the stuff is because they hate him only.
Exactly.
Like
he can never do something right. It doesn't matter what he does.
Like they would cheer forever if he failed, not realizing that that's us on fire. Like, him failing is America failing. And what the fuck? Like, again, if you hate it here, and I'll say this shit till I'm blue in the face, and it's the broken record of everybody, but if you hate it here so goddamn much, if you want to burn my flag in your peaceful protest, get the hell out. Go anywhere the fuck else. Go ahead and try that shit. Go to one of the other shit in a couple other countries for sure.
Go to one of the other countries that wouldn't let you in either.
Like, that's what I'm saying. There's
good luck. You want to go to Canada? Good luck, because if you don't have
you have to prove that you're going to benefit their economy and bring something to Canada. Yeah, they're going to tell you like the whole I'm such a big deal. I'm so great. I'm leaving. Make a big scene out of leaving, and then Canada's going to be like, go ahead anywhere else. Yeah, you can go to Mexico. You can go try another one. Like, but Canada don't want you. Bye.
And yeah, it's unfortunate, man. People have, and what you just said, I posted on Facebook a couple months back. I don't even remember the fucking shitstorm, but I basically said some of you people hate Trump more than you love America. And I think that that statement stands true. I think that people look, man, if you're being honest,
50% of them,
if you're being honest and not just fucking wearing your stupid ass team colors, no president has walked in and been perfectly great. Most of them have been 40% great, 60% not great. Almost every one of them. Yeah. And to think that it's ever going to be any different under the current system, you're out of your fucking mind.
That and the people who are absolutely praised and honored by history for their work in that billet have done more of what he's currently doing. Yeah. And oh my God, the best thing that ever happened to the presidency was Barack Hussein Obama. And I'm like, the deporter in chief, like he was called that. Like he deported far more. Like hopefully we can break that by the time the 4 years is up. But like,
yeah, not only that, he bombed everyone like that. Like there were plenty of bad things that happened under Barack Obama's watch, dude.
And I appreciate the deportations for sure, because I will always be for illegal immigrants not being here. And doing it the right way, 100% devout on that, staunch, whatever the word is. But shit, the bombs and stuff. I honestly think that I can't blame him for that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had accurate intelligence that there were 6 Taliban held up in the compound that blew me to smithereens, and there wasn't a soul in there. Yeah. Like, I can't blame him for that one, for the bombs hitting the wrong spots and all that other stuff, because that's bad intel. And I would imagine he's not just winging those. He's got generals around him. He's got folders open. He's got the information at hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you have to imagine that.
And I hope that he was making what he thought was the best decision at the time, and mistakes happened along the way, sort of thing, rather than like, fuck him, go drop everything.
Well, clearly the president has the last say in a lot of things, but you have to imagine that most military operations are pretty much done without his hand. He gets the
they're done literally without his hand,
right? Like exactly. It's not like he's making the call.
Yeah, he's the final. He could put the kibosh on it or say, yay, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I won't give a politician credit for anything a boot on the ground did.
It's just the blind allegiance that people have for their party or their ideology, where they're unwilling to consider that they're wrong, that you might be right. And that's where it sucks, is that are people wrong to be compassionate about people coming across the border who want to get out? No, you're not wrong for that.
Never once.
But there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And if you want to argue that the way that we do it, that how long it takes for them to get in and how difficult it isn't working, let's fucking have that conversation.
Fight that. Go talk to congressmen and senators and everyone about that.
The answer isn't open borders, man.
It will never be open borders, ever. Like, that is not the answer. And I hate the fact that with most of the people fighting for that need it to happen to realize why. Like, we have to go to a straight up apocalypse land before they'll be like, oh shit, we were super duper wrong. And that's something that adults in general have a huge fucking problem with, this, and at least in this day and age, is receiving new information, assimilating that new information, changing your stance on something because you've gained new information on that subject.
Yeah.
Like,
I watched a video of a girl berating her grandfather because he voted for Trump, and it was like that generation of woke people in a nutshell. It was so fucking disgusting, dude. Where it was just, how could you vote for someone that's taken away my rights? What rights?
Yeah, name me
what
one,
rights?
Please.
Same thing with when they protest trans rights. I'm like, what rights have they taken away? And if you want to fight on the sports thing, you're out of your fucking mind. And that's a silly argument.
I hate to break it to you, though. Playing organized sports, paid Olympics, otherwise, is not a right.
100%.
That is a privilege.
Whoa! What about fat 48-year-old rights? What about my rights to play in the Olympics?
Yeah,
I want to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, you have no right. Deal with it. Like, you are. Yeah, no, you can't do it. No, you don't. Not because you don't have a right to, because you're not in the fucking running. Like,
it's just common sense, logic, and reason have went out the window for a bunch of people, and clearly our country's sick of it. That's why Trump's in office again.
Simple definitions have escaped people. Like, oh my God, if I hear fascist one more fucking time, like, people don't know what shit means anymore. Yeah. I'm like, the words mean something on purpose. Like, when you look up a word, it has words that follow it in the Webster Dictionary that tells you what it fucking means. Like, you can figure this out.
And apparently you fucking have never heard the story of the boy who cried wolf, because what happens is when you call everyone a racist, when you call everyone a transphobe, when you call everyone a fascist, then when there really is a fascist, a racist, or a fucking transphobe, no one believes you.
Yeah.
Now you just sound like the dumb broken record.
Shut up. Yeah.
Right.
And then no one's going to look at that person. And I'm over here like, damn it, we want bad people gone. Like, stop making good people bad people so we can catch all the bad people.
Yeah. And when further on your definition
throwing
thing,
smoke.
The definition of racist versus prejudice versus discrimination. God. Racism is an action. Discrimination is an action. Prejudice is something we all do all the time. We all do that with everyone we meet. If you come in with fucking tattoos,
that's up there with judgment. It's right there with judgment.
It's prejudged. That's the word.
Yeah.
You're prejudging. Everyone prejudges everyone in every scenario to protect yourself, because you're also just a logical thinking person. Like that. That's normal from every end. But like racism, even racism, how you separate racism from systemic racism is a big deal.
Yes.
Like I don't think the majority of white people are racist. I don't. Some of the system, maybe.
100%. There's some of the system. I have not experienced it myself as a straight white man, but like, I'm not calling no one a liar on some system stuff for sure, especially on something that I'm either uneducated on or haven't experienced myself. It's also
a fine line though. Let's not pretend like that there aren't a whole bunch of black people who use the race card to their advantage unfairly, who constantly play the victim, who constantly use race as a card in order to justify their actions or the way that not being a good person. Like, literally, that's the answer to everything. Just be a good person. That's it. There's no other things needed.
And that entire concept is not unique. Because veterans are very terrible about this, with the concept of I did this, so, and then now the military didn't do anything for me anymore. I'm out. I'm free. None of my people are around anymore. I used to have 12 guys that made sure I made it to point B. But the military also taught you to adapt and overcome. The military taught you to take what you've got and figure it out. Build something, go around it, under it, over it, through it. Figure it the fuck out. You've got this. Message to Garcia is a little itty. It might as well be a pamphlet. It's called a book, but It's something we all had to read at boot camp. And they just say, get a message to Garcia and give him the message. And the whole thing is just about following orders. He doesn't ask who Garcia is or where to find him. He just goes until he gets the message to Garcia. And that's the whole vibe, is just do the damn thing like you're supposed to do the damn thing. And there's a lot of I love my veterans. Please don't take this the wrong way. But sometimes we're just wallowing. Sometimes we're woe is meing it. Look at me, the veteran who served, and no one loves me anymore. And I'm just like, eat a whole bag of dicks. The people who get it show up to get it. Like, I am not coming to your house to hand you fuck all. Like, you adapt, overcome. You, in any situation in the military, if you were alone, you wouldn't be like, they all abandoned me, I'm done. Wah. No, you'd push forward. You'd figure it the fuck out. You'd find rounds. You'd find a heading. You'd get moving in the right direction. Or if there was opposition, you'd be shooting in that direction. Like, you would not just sit there and whine and act all helpless. Like they've all abandoned me. Whatever would I do? Like, no, adapt, overcome, move.
Great points, man.
God damn it. Sorry.
And that can trickle down into civilian life too, dude. I mean, I'm guilty of things like that. You know, I'm guilty of having been to a certain level of success and then falling down and having a really hard time picking myself back up. I'm in that right now. You know, it's not exclusive to anybody, and that's the thing, is that even me saying what I said about black people using it as a cart, is someone's going to call me racist. If I make that a clip and I put it on my TikTok, I'm going to be called racist for calling out what's true.
100%.
Just the same as this whole, I don't know if you've seen this whole black fatigue movement. It's one of the best things to happen in a long time for the black community, because a lot of black people are stepping up and going, hey, stop being a bitch, stop playing a victim.
Yeah.
You know, yes, life is hard. It's hard for almost everyone. Like, it's not just hard for black people. And you can say that it's harder, struggling. Maybe. It's harder for some black people. It's also harder for some white people, and it's harder for some Mexicans, and it's harder depends on where you're at, depends on your IQ, depends on your upbringing, depends on about 50 million fucking factors.
And separate from all the ones about you and where you came from, all the stuff around you. Yeah, I mean, how people are getting out of the coal mines of West Virginia or a lot of the Appalachian stuff. It's as hard to get out of the mountains of the Appalachian area as it is to get out of, the streets of Chicago or wherever. I don't know where hoods are specifically, and I don't want to name any that would get people mad at me or whatever. But yeah, like, getting out of all of those, getting out of your situation is not easy. Either way you spin it. Yeah. Like, hell, even the privilege, like all the movies with the super privileged people who hate that life, they can't just get away from it. Like, it's not something you can't just step out of what you were raised in, grew up in, your environment, and get going easy. Like, it's all going to be a trudge. Like, you've got to shed layers. You've got to grow a lot. Like, and that too, they just want to go and think that and anyone who's trying to run from what they are, what they were, what they came from, a lot of them have the mindset of, when I get where I'm going, it's all going to start working for me because I won't be here. And I'm like, no, you've still got to grow, adapt. You've got to do a lot of work in the schematics on you, or you're never going to get there. Like, no one's going to hand it to you when you get there.
That's the root of almost all of these issues, is people not spending enough time in front of a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to the black community, the white culture, the black culture, the fucking trans culture, everyone looking in a fucking mirror, dude. Like, how are you acting? How are you acting? And is it conducive to better things for yourself? Is it conducive to better things for your community? There's a deeper, you got to look at it from 30,000 feet sometimes and realize there's a bigger picture than just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to be the main character and fucking do something better.
And sometimes, stepping out of yourself and looking at yourself objectively, like you just said. I always picture it as, like, I try to see it as like a TV sitcom scene or a movie scene. and be like, would I be rooting for the little half a character over these people right now? And be like, what do I want him to win with how he's acting right now? And sometimes the answer is no. Like man, fuck that dude. Someone take a battery off his wheelchair. Like sometimes, yeah. So take the joystick. Fuck that guy. Like sometimes I'm the problem. Sometimes I'm fucking up, and I try my best to own it and apologize to the people I may have wronged in that situation. I've been the toxic one in people's story.
Well,
sure.
that's the thing, man.
In some stories,
you're
and
human.
For all of y'all, I am sorry. There's only a handful of y'all I'm not sorry about, and I hope y'all know who you are. But for the most part, I didn't mean to, or I was having a bad day, and I am very sorry. I did not mean to.
But the important factor here is that you're human, and that's what humans do. Humans are wrong. If you're a person that thinks that your ideology, that what you think, number one, is who you are, but number two is always correct, that you're always on the right side of history with everything that you think, you're wrong. You're just by deductive reasoning, you're wrong. You can't
just always
you have to be more pliable. Right. You're just always fucking hitting it out of the park, dude. That's
just crushing it. Grand slam home runs every time.
But and therein lies the biggest problem. I had this part of I think of the discussion with Jake last week, where it's like, if I could wish anything on people, it would be to be more flexible and pliable. It'd be to be more willing to accept that you might be wrong. Right. Adjust your thinking, take in new information, never go far onto one side. Just fucking hang in the middle. Try to side with what makes the most sense. Try to be as knowledgeable as you can if you're going to take a stance on a subject. You know, not just soaking up what fucking confirmation bias you can find in the echo chamber you live in. Like, it's not healthy. It's not good for you. It's not good for the world. It's not good for your cause
at all. The world, us, the loudest ones, at least the U.S., need to humble up a lot, because there's too many people that are just, I'm the table is the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the concept of what do you bring to the table? You have people, I am the table. You have too many people that and marriages is a big one, but in general, you have too many people with I'm the table energy. What are you bringing to me? And I'm like, you're a leg on that bitch. You are a leg on that table. Like, we as a team are going to hold it up. Like, we all are going to hold it up. We're all going to bring things to it. You are not the table. The table's not a person. The table is a commitment to whatever it is.
Dude. That's so accurate. Just in 5 minutes of scrolling a dating site, you see how many women, and I only say women because I look at women who clearly think they are the table. It's just I know what I'm worth. I know what I deserve, and you better have this, and it's like, okay. I've seen this so many times lately where they've done these studies in that situation, or hit people with that, like, okay, so we eliminate anybody under 5'5", we eliminate anybody that doesn't make $100K a year, we eliminate anybody that isn't, all these things, and now you're down to 0.0001% of people or some shit, and
which comes out to this many, and then, like, we could literally Penelope Garcia this shit and figure out how many of them are married, like. And then of the 6.5 people left, I guarantee you not one of them is going to want you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this.
Well, and it's further skewed by people spending time on social media looking at the highlights of everyone and looking at these fucking model-esque people that are constantly shoved in your face as if that's what the normal world looks like.
Yep.
Like that you're going to go find a fucking model that's absolutely ripped and making fucking $1 million a year and just be the greatest man, boyfriend / those motherfuckers are just slinging dick, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to settle down for you. Like,
you want to be turned. You want to be turned out. Cool, be turned out, and then don't hop on your Facebook and be like, all men suck. No, you fucking look for terrible men.
Yeah,
you date horrible people.
Men. I was saying, and that goes both ways, but again, my experience is male to female, obviously.
Of course, yeah, it's definitely not to aim this at females.
Ladies, for the record, I put my nub down on this one. Fellas these days are setting the bar low. Like,
Well, the
like
tiny percentage that get attention from females, yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible people.
The fellas that y'all are giving chances to, at least, have been some garbage dudes for sure. No one is saying that men got it all figured out and we're the catch either. We tend to be more understanding that we are not, like, that we're doing what we can with what we got, hoping you like a funny dude.
Yeah.
Like, he smiles a lot and he funny. Like, you know what trauma I went through?
That's the shitty thing about internet dating and shit like that, dude, is that you eliminate the ability to, like, I am ugly. I have to be funny, and I equally am funny to how ugly I am. So I need to meet you. Like, I can't be funny in 140 letters or less.
I'm not witty in this moment right now. We need to go out there.
Yeah, dude. You want a great dude who's going to be consistent and loyal and fucking emotionally intelligent and bring a whole bunch of good things to the table, but doesn't have the flashy sides of things that you seem to only be attracted to. I'm your guy.
Yeah, let's go. It's just almost none of your criterias, but I'm awesome when you get to know me.
Exactly.
I would say when I was I'm off the market now, but when I was doing dating apps and shit, I had 3'10" as my height on there because and I never hid the wheelchair. And because that's another one too. Again, from the dating websites, there's so many pictures that are just
the pictures are fucking
and the fellas do it too with the fish.
Yeah.
It's always get the fish as close as you can to the camera. Fellas do it for sure. Everyone does it. But again,
but you got to admit, women are much worse at using filters, making the same face in every picture, angles,
same exact angles.
8 pictures from this exact angle with her lips ducked up and fucking 38 filters on. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, and that was what I tried to not do that. Like, I actively tried to make my pictures 100% what you're getting. Like, there was a couple that were chopped or whatever, but those were, you'd get to them. Like, the wheelchair was in the first picture. Like, when you come to my shit, you're seeing that I'm 3 down and in a goddamn wheelchair. Like,
yeah,
because start talking to me and realize, oh, you're missing all of bye. And I'm not all of it, but okay.
Well, that's the ultimate thing is, what do you plan to do when you meet this person? What do you plan to do? What are you going to do when you've put all these filters on and found these angles and done all this shit?
Yeah. Are they they going to stand over you to have that angle all the time?
Yeah, like you. Well, they're gonna see you. I mean, clearly, if you're gonna meet them, they're gonna see you. If you lied and you bullshitted and you filtered, what?
They just think when you're on the date, you're not gonna say anything.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
If I said I was 6 foot something or another and had only the bust pictures where you can tell I got tattoos, and I pulled out the smile, and then rolled up to the date, they'd be like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
You should have probably mentioned that
you said you were 6'2".
Dude, I was. Depends on which legs I'm wearing. I was only 5'9" in real life, for anyone who cares. Well, I would have been 5'10". I wasn't done growing yet. I was a fucking child when I got hurt.
You remember the it's a fag capital of the world.
Bring that up a lot.
I got a new one.
Yeah, we got another one.
I think this happened a long time ago. I don't really know exactly when.
I'm super down to have a new thing to flip through with new guests and everything. We're not allowed to show Ren. Or it won't show on whatever.
Now what do you do with Shohei Ohtani?
Be very careful. Well, folks, Shohei Ohtani is coming to the plate, and it's been brought to my attention, and I sincerely apologize if I offended anybody, especially anybody in the Asian community,
Oh, dude.
for what I said about pitching and being
that.
careful to Shohei Ohtani. I did not intend for any offensive thing, and I apologize if I did.
Holy
talks.
shit,
Respect
dude.
and have the utmost respect for this guy.
Well, it's how he talks.
And
So I'm not mad at him.
don't blame a pitcher for walking.
That's funny. That's not as bad as that's not as bad as the other one.
No,
I don't
no,
think.
no. It's not nearly as bad.
Because again, I think he did mean that in full, like, respect stuff. Because that's how he talks. Like that's the accent he's got.
Yeah.
So yeah. But again, yeah, I see why they immediately were like, bro, apologize.
I don't know why everyone's got to clutch their pearls every time somebody makes a fucking joke, dude.
It's also California again.
Like if I'm just saying when a black person does white voice, I couldn't laugh harder.
It's solid. A good one. There's some people who do shitty ones. I'm like, bro, you've never met a white person.
Dude,
Like,
when Eddie Murphy used to back in Eddie Murphy Raw or one of those that he did early when
Eddie
he did
Griffin
white voice.
does a good one too.
Dude, it's funny.
Eddie
Laugh.
Griffin's is hysterical. I like Eddie Griffin's.
It's not wrong.
Poking fun, jokes in general, comedians in general. If you don't make it funny, it's a problem. You can push the envelope as far as you want to or can, as long as you write it well. As long as it's a good,
that's the hard
solid,
part is you don't know.
well-constructed joke, and you've tried it in front of your homies or whatever enough, and then you test audience it or whatever. But like, audiences need to calm the fuck down a lot too, because one, Chris D'Elia says it best. The getting mad at a comedian is stupid because one, they're only joking. Like, and two, you paid me to say it. Like, you spent money to come here because you knew I was going to say this kind of shit. Like,
yeah, if you want to hear knock jokes, go to fucking Grok or go to ChatGPT.
If it's well written, you can say damn near anything. Like,
I'll push back on that too, though. I don't think that well written's important because comedians sometimes try shit. Well delivered,
at least too.
Yeah, but they try shit that doesn't work sometimes.
And again, that comes down to them. I mean, again, if you can get the shtick, the voice, the delivery, the timing, and the writing, the layers of it down. I mean, hell, dead baby jokes are funny.
Isn't that also subjective though? I mean,
100%. Yeah.
Like what you think is funny, I might not, or vice versa. Like that's the thing is you just can't.
Yeah.
If it really comes down to intent. Is your intent to be hurtful? Are you intending to be funny?
I'm literally here trying to make you laugh, so
right. Well, I mean, I think
err on that.
I think when a comedian goes on stage to make people laugh and they say something that comes off the wrong way with funny intent, all that needs to happen is the crowd doesn't laugh, and they don't. And that's not what they're there for. They get a bad feeling. That's all that needs to happen. You don't need to read them the riot act or post it on a fucking social media site and talk about how racist they are.
Move on to the next thing.
99 times out of 100, they're not.
No.
It has nothing to do with that. It's not true.
But yeah, you say one thing, again, a comedian for sure. Straight up, a joke, like on stage joke, or shell backstage with the boys trying to figure out a joke. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that clip gets out or whatever. Two people take it the wrong way, sensationalize it, and then now there's a whole following of people who hate this one dude because he was doing his job.
But at the end of the day, what they're missing is that, is this person racist or not?
It always comes.
If
like
they are not, then what the fuck are you doing?
No, yeah, I echo what you said. The intent is always the case. Yeah, are they trying to be hurtful? Are they attempting to hurt someone's feelings or offend somebody? Because being offended is a you thing. Being offended is a reaction to outside stimuli. So every single person who's offended by something, you did that to yourself. Just like when you wipe your butt, your nipples get hard. You did that to you. Freaking every situation that happens to you, if you get blown to smithereens or if you were born and you're depressed, it's what you do with it. It's how you show up to that storm that figures it all out for you.
100%.
Playing victim, we've talked about that more than once on this one too. The playing victim shit is tired. I have victim fatigue. Well, and I don't mean actual victims of stuff, for the love of God, I do not mean actual victims of violent crimes or anything. I mean people who are diagnosing their mental illnesses without a doctor because they saw 2 TikTok videos. The people who are playing the victim at every fucking turn. No one's looking at me right now, so I'm going to whine and kick and scream until they start looking again.
Well, here's the thing: is that we're all victims to things. We're all victims to other people. Everybody's been hurt by someone. Everyone's been wronged. We're all victims of things. The point is, what the fuck is crying victim going to do for you? Where will that get you? It's never going to end in some result. Like, it might help you for a minute, but some people get locked into that for their life, and it never pans out. It's you know. I mean, I know from my own situation, I can give you a roadmap of my life and how I've been wronged and how I've been shit on and how I've been kicked when I'm down, but it doesn't matter. There's no reward. There's no award for being the most victimized.
Yeah, it's and we say it every episode. It's not a competition.
It's not.
And you said it earlier too. We're all struggling. No one is thriving big time right now.
A handful of people.
We are hopefully on the horizon of shit shaping up. I know gas prices have dropped dramatically in Florida. Come on. I'm hoping lots of things are going to be changing in that similar fashion. And everyone can get to a point where homeostasis is a little more achievable and get that thrive going. But I refuse. Oh, no, I got blown to smithereens. I'm a victor of the human experience.
Yeah.
Because keep throwing your haymakers, life. I can take them. Like, I got a strong chin, damn it. Like, if I'm bleeding, if I fall back, if I hit the deck, if I've got to crawl for a little bit, if you take my chair, I'm going to figure it the fuck out. I'm not going to sit there and say, wah, make with the chair. Like, someone bring forth another chair. What? No, I'm going to crawl my ass to a seat and sit up off the ground and figure it the fuck out. Like, just roll with the punches, adapt, overcome, handle your shit. Stop making it everyone else's thing that, I'm not where I want to be because X, Y, and Z, or I didn't get into this school, I didn't do this, or someone stopped me from doing that. Fucking,
well, that's definitely,
if someone stopped you, you let them stop you.
There's definitely a massive sense of entitlement with the youth, where they really feel entitled to a lot of things, both from the government, from other people, from whatever. It's a severe problem. I don't know how this is going to culminate, how it's going to come together, but
which one of the governmental systems is the one that just gives everyone everything handout style? Which one's that?
I can't think of a good one.
I was going to say that one's communism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can anyone tell me a communist country that is just balling and thriving and loving life and hasn't fallen and crumbled? Can anybody name me one?
Yeah, and I've heard arguments for, people that come from that angle and say, well, that's because there's never actually been a real communist system, or there's never actually been a real socialist system, and it's just that these systems aren't perfect.
Those are the same people who think we're in a democracy.
Yeah, none of these systems aren't perfect, including capitalism.
No,
and these systems
the best one.
Aren't meant to be ruled by imperfect people. And they're going to find their way to corruption because they just do, because there's always a person willing to do horrible shit to get on top.
Human nature.
I don't know if it's just human nature, man. It's some people's human nature. It's sociopaths' human nature.
It's in there. That's what I'm saying. It's in humans to do that.
Dude, if you got voted in,
most people have a good heart and don't want to play that shit and shice people. Is my opinion.
I think that's what I'm getting at, is that for the most part, I feel like the population is pretty cool. They're pretty all right people who care for the people around them and care for the overall good of the country and care for white people and care for black people and care for gay people and care for trans people. And they want everyone to have an equal shot. And that's the hardest part, is that equal shot means what? I was poor growing up, so my equal shot is different from someone who had a spoon in their mouth.
Oh, yeah, equity versus equality is another argument you got to have with everyone, too. Are we all starting from the same exact point somehow? Because, one, how the hell are you doing that? And two, yeah, right, that's not happening. Sorry, there's too many moving parts. We all cannot kick off from the same start point unless they wrangle up all the mothers and we all get born into a same situation somehow. Like, and that is another kind of government. Like,
Yeah. Well, and equity is also, some people think that equality means equal outcomes. Equal outcomes,
opportunity.
equal
Like, no,
opportunity. Yes,
you have
equal
the
outcomes.
exact same shot that I had, but maybe I studied harder, or maybe you studied harder. Maybe I went in winging it, going personality will win it, but you went in knowing it inside and out. So you are gonna fucking get it. And then someone would take another soul in here, would be like, they didn't choose me because I'm a broken man. Like, and I'm like, no, I didn't get it because I went in thinking I'd smile at him and they'd like me for it. And
Yeah.
he went in knowing everything. So he got it. Like, I'm an idiot. Next time I'm going to study and have a good personality. Boom. Then I'll get that gig. Like, it's not a win or a loss. It's a win or a learn.
No, it's a true story, man. It's people using things as excuses gives them an excuse to not do more and do better and to try harder and to, you know, even shit with my daughter lately. She's been having a hard time with her mom at home, and like, you know, struggling with this and that and needing more money and all these things. And I'm like, at some point, this just got to motivate you. It's got to motivate you to do better. It's got to motivate you to do more. It's got to motivate you to think outside of whatever you're going through. And a lot of people will fill that space with something that doesn't give them that motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point along the way, you have to realize that you can create whatever life you would like to some degree, but
Yeah.
it is harder for some people. But to say it's harder for me because of the color of my skin. Well, guess what? Me and you had in common. We both grew up poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so maybe you have dark skin, and that might some places it might affect it, and maybe me because I have tattoos that might affect it. Like,
yeah. Hell, there's places where a beard's gonna get you looked at funny.
It's true.
Like, I mean, and that again is cultural shit. Like, America's so damn big. You go anywhere, you have an entirely different thought process there.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who love me because I'm a veteran but hate my tattoos. I've had a lot of old ladies tell me to my face after thanking me for my service that they wish I didn't do that to my body. And I was like, no, I stepped on a bomb. I didn't do it to my body. And they were talking about my tattoos. I'm like, oh, that was a weird segue, lady. Like, that was strange to lead with "you're the man, thank you," and go straight into, but also fuck your life decisions. Like,
yeah.
And so many people would be like, "Yep, old white ladies," and I'm like, "No, I've hung out with a bunch of them," and that, you know, that's happened a handful of times only. Like, you can't blame all of everything on the one bad experience you had.
No.
Yeah, if you met a veteran who's a douchebag, I get that. There's a lot of them, but we're not all D-bags. Like, if you met a musician who's a real asshole,
and there's lots of them.
Zach Polk. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm triggered.
I'm so offended right now. No, Zach's a wonderful person, and he puts on a hell of a show. Just saying.
Nah, dude, it just comes down to that life is so different everywhere you go, with every person, every business, everything. I don't even necessarily believe that systemic racism is a real thing. I believe that there have been lots of things that the government has done for black people that it hasn't done for white people, or it does for white people too sometimes. Like, dude, it's not so cut and dried, and I don't mean black and white in skin terms, but nothing's as black and white as these people want to say that it is.
Oh yeah.
It's so nuanced, and it's so complicated and complex on every level, and to pick a side and to dig your fucking heels in as if your side is the right one and that everything they do is right and they can't do wrong is so fucking bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tearing our country apart.
Oh yeah. And then, yeah, and I'm becoming a huge fan of when someone who throws rocks through a windshield says I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm becoming super comfortable and just loving that. Fuck.
Well, and it tarnishes the real protesters. It tarnishes the name of the people that are actually there to do it peacefully and who have a good meaning behind it.
Yeah, and I got more power to the peaceful protesters. I will tell you, and I am not deeply political. If you've watched a whole bunch of our shit, I did vote for Donald Trump because, in my opinion, he was the only choice, really. But I do not lean into politics. There's a whole bunch I don't know that I cannot speak super intelligently on. But something I am very intimately and passionately with is you have every fucking right to peacefully protest any grievances you have and talk to the government about them, because that is in the First Amendment. You can say what you want, you can do that, and you can pray to who you want to pray to. And I because I freaking died for it and would do it again tomorrow. You have every right to that. But you start throwing rocks and shit, you're a criminal and you're not who I'm talking to anymore. So just the people who are doing the peaceful shit, more power to you. Please carry on. I hope your mission gets some traction, because I feel terrible because these other people are besmirching what you're trying to accomplish big time. They're making it's now a terrorist situation instead of people listening to you and your grievances. So I would leave all of that. If you're in them riots with a good heart, I'd get the hell out of Dodge and set up shop where there aren't riots happening. Because you are going to get lumped in with the rioters and the domestic terrorists. Those are words that mean what I am saying and what those people are. We've been talking about the definition of words a lot. But Molotov cocktails, rocks in windshields, and all of that, you are a domestic terrorist and a criminal. So if you're doing the peaceful shit, get away from those people, because you're going to get lumped right up with them, and we don't want that. You have every fucking right to peacefully protest.
And I agree.
100%. Sorry. I would say we're getting to the end. I needed to get that out.
Fucking well put, dude. That's a perfect point to put a fucking cap on it, brother.
Yeah. Well, how do I do this then? Zach, do you have any saved rounds?
Was
there anything that you hoped to get off your chest on this Zach and Ty episode?
No, honestly, I wanted to get to those things. I was just sitting around, like, these keep popping up on my screen, and I feel, obviously I don't have an ideology that sticks to one side or the other, and it really makes me sad to see people so blindly following along with these things. When I watch the protests and the conversations, and like, one of the guys, he'll set up on a college campus with a little booth, and he'll try to talk, and they'll come in and steal his signs and dump liquids on him, and I'm just like, man, what world do you think that your perspective is the only one that should be heard? Whether you're a Trumper or whether you're a woke lefty or whatever you fucking
middle of the road, left leaning, right leaning, whatever.
This whole mentality of that we shouldn't talk about politics and religion is, to me, a bullshit thing to avoid conversations that need to happen. We need to sit down and be able to talk to one another politically, the sides, and try to understand one another. We don't have to agree, but the more that I spent time trying to understand both sides when I was kind of locked into an ideology, the more I realized that most people just want the same thing, dude. They just want a fucking safe and comfortable, thriving country and the ability to have a good life. And no one's at fault for wanting that.
I want to be able to have a place to raise my family safely.
Yep.
Is the main demands that I have from this life.
So if both people want that thing and they have different ideas of how to get there, why can't we have a conversation? Why can't we learn from one another?
The goal, well, because again, and I'm not saying all Republicans are for the country and all Democrats are for beating Republicans.
It feels like that now.
But yeah, I was going to say, but it's really hard not to feel that way right now. I
agree.
You literally took the words out of my mouth, because every single thing seems like the Republican side of the house is trying their damnedest to get America to a good place so America can start winning and crushing and thriving and being fucking America again, being everything I know it can be, being everything I fought for. Like, let's fucking go. And then it seems like the entire other side is their whole job in life is to just harpoon efforts only, to beat Republicans only.
They're literally offering nothing. They're offering nothing to the country. No solutions, no ideas, no plans for how. Well, hey, we don't think this thing Trump's doing can work, but we have a better idea. We can do it this way.
Yeah.
None of that.
It's all we need. Fuck him. He's the devil. Get him out of office. There's a recount going on somewhere right now. And they think that if somehow there's millions of votes there and the recount goes through and it's wrong, whatever, that Kamala is going to be the fucking president. Literally illegal. Like, they can't do that. Certified votes said everything. The inauguration happened. Everything happened. So if Trump got pulled out of office, in the hypothetical that y'all are talking about, Vance would be the president. Like, if he didn't want it, going to the speaker, like going down the line of secession. And at no point during that line of secession is it Kamala Harris. Like, she's not there. She can't be the president now.
She should have never even been
I'm
considered,
just saying,
dude.
like, or whatever. Like, they don't love the next 6 or 7 people in line either.
Yeah.
Like, but they keep trying to just beat Trump, beat Trump, beat Trump. And I'm like, I mean, Vance would run the country. I think he'd do very well. But like, God, why can't it be red and blue is trying to find white together so we can just be red, white, and blue? Like, why is it we all need to be blue? We all need to be red. We all and just I'm gonna choke out the red so it's all blue. Like,
dude,
no,
I mean,
can we just be the red, white, and blue, please?
We touched on this in the last episode when me and Jake were talking, but the thing they fear the most is for us to stop fighting and for us to come together and figure out solutions and demand more out of our politicians. And it doesn't happen by you sticking to your far left or far right ideology. It's somewhere in between, and everyone's got to compromise and come to the table. Yeah,
if we all get on the same page about the goal, if everyone is for America prospering, then if the goal is the same, America be better, if your ideas of how America can be better or the ways that it needs to be better are different than ours, then we should, come to the table, mix them together, toss a salad of all of our shit together. Maybe we'll lose some here, maybe y'all lose some there, but then either way, the plan moving forward towards a prosperous America. Yep. How is that the wrong move? Like, how?
Just because people dig in their heels, they have one ideology and there's no way around it. It's
all that. Us.
Yes, men should be able to transition to women and fight in women's sports and beat the shit out of women, and I don't see any problem with that. And I'm not going to bend on that subject, which is a perfect example of how there's no compromise. Like, hey, we'll compromise, we'll accept these terms, but that's a term we will not accept. And they can't go, okay, that's fair. It's got to be, so what? You've given us 50 things. We're going to fight for this fucking one until you give us that one. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be whatever next thing we decide we want special treatment in.
But also, I don't love I don't care if what you do with who you do it with. Sexuality doesn't bother me in the least. Like, I support you if you need my support, but I think the fact that I just don't give a shit, it doesn't affect my life in any way. And if you're happy, I love that for you. As a human, hell yeah. If you found love, I don't care what it's shaped like. Like, I'm the goofiest shaped dude around. I don't give a fuck. And I'm pro, cut it off, tuck it in, put them on, cut them off.
As long as you're an adult. No children, please.
Adult. I'll never for the children, in my opinion.
Nope.
I think that, 18 and above, if you want to go through it, do you. Be happy. I got so many tattoos. Like, I'm not what I started out as. And it happened through pain and blood and ink. If you wanted to do it through anesthesia and changing shit, do you. But the second you tell me that you want to do it to a child, the second that it turns into all the kids are getting involved, and I tell you, no, thank you, I'm not pro that, you now hear, I hate all of it, you're all the devil, that's all witchcraft, voodoo, trans 100%. People are the goddamn devil. And 100%. I will tell, no, I do not give a shit what you do. And hell, if you've transitioned properly, I don't need you to tell me what you are, were, is, whatever. Introduce me as your name, and I'm going to call you your name.
Yep.
Like, but the second you start getting kids involved or pushing towards the sports thing, that's a real polarizing thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if I say, I think that y'all should have your own league and keep the women's sports to women's sports and keep the men's sports to men's sports, and there should be a trans league or an everybody league, like an everyone can league. Yeah. If I say that, I officially loathe transgenders and none of their battles are worth a damn. And that is asinine to me, that it has to be all or nothing.
I agree.
Like, because again, pro do you is my whole thing.
And honestly, dude, that is all coming from the left. I don't feel that same pressure from the right to agree with every single thing that they say.
That's true. I've never.
I feel only that pressure from the left to
as well. I try very hard to hear every avenue that can come to me, but I
think Republicans have an ideology, some of which I don't agree with on a basic level, but I never. They might say, "Hey, this is what we think," but they're never like, "Oh, you're a lefty then. If you don't, you're a woke person then. If you don't agree with me." I don't feel that pressure, but I have felt that pressure from where, as a person with these thoughts on black culture or trans culture and all these things that don't agree with every single word that I've felt people have said, called me a transphobe or called me a racist when I'm not 0% that.
Yeah,
but
if I dislike you, it's because of who you are as a person. I promise. Like it has nothing to do with the color of your skin or what you started with or what you have now. Like if I dislike you, it is 100% because of who you are, which I think that would piss me off so much more. Like I'd be like, oh, you just hate people with tattoos. You hate wheelchairs. That's fine. I could justify that. But no,
I just think you're a scumbag.
I'm just a whole piece of shit. That sucks. I'm like, yeah, that's the equivalent of I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like that's that. Like oh no, my heart. Like,
well, I'm sure whatever clips I get from this in post are going to get a lot of heat, but we need some excitement. Let's fucking
microwave it up, whatever.
Put something controversial up and let them fucking come at it.
Don't make me look bad, make you look bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. I want equality for everyone. I want everyone to feel comfortable. I want everyone to have a chance to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be a little easier for people to thrive in general. Yep. I feel like that right now it's really hard to even exist, much less thrive for everyone.
Yes.
And I hope that shit gets better. But overall, like just be a good person. Stop with the fucking victim shit. Stop blaming everybody for your problems. Stop
fighting the world for what you don't have.
And be flexible on what you think, because what you think is not who you are, and what you think should be flexible and it should change, because I've changed what I've thought 1,000,000 times in my life, and I will 1,000,000 more.
Shit, I thought I was going to be a Pokemon master at one point in my life.
Hell yeah. Like, I was going to be a ninja and a pilot when I grew up.
I grew the shit out. I grew up. Like, like just like that, your mind, it can keep going, man. You can start reading some books and learn all kinds of stuff now.
It's one thing I learned from watching Rogan that I think is the most important thing to what I've learned from watching that show for over a decade is watching him bend on shit, change on shit when new information shows up, and he might have said something for 50 fucking episodes or 2 years or 5 years, and all of a sudden someone comes in with new information and he goes, damn, and then he changes on the spot. And it made me realize how I wasn't as flexible in my ideas or what I thought, and I wanted to do more of that. I thought I admired that ability to do that.
Yeah, and there's some people, they're probably not listening to us right now, but there's some people who heard you say Rogan and immediately stopped listening to what you had to say because they hate his guts. And
don't understand him. He's I've never seen him and Jordan Peterson get misrepresented more than anyone I've ever seen. Like just completely grouped in with people. Again, the same thing. Like almost everything that Rogan believes is left. He's almost completely liberal in his thinking, but because he put Trump on, he's now a diehard Republican and a fucking right winger.
Trump on too.
I know.
He tried real hard, but
it's just
that's neither here nor there.
but people don't when people don't give a fuck about the truth,
Yeah.
that's where the problems come in. You
Yep.
don't care about what's true about him. You care about how
winning.
you want to paint it so that you can win an argument or it's so sad. It's disappointing,
embarrassing.
man. It is really embarrassing.
Like, just, you're an adult.
Yeah.
And so much, and shit, just the ones where you don't even go find the whole video. You hear someone say something and don't go find the whole clip. Like,
yeah,
what the hell? There's so many times that this person said that thing, and I don't even know who the person is. It can be like, oh, the thing they said, and then here's the whole clip and everything in context, and it's way less whatever.
It's different, always different from how they try to spin it.
Yeah, and when Cory Booker sends his heart out to everybody, no one's talking about that being no Nazi salute.
Yeah.
He did it twice, too. Everyone's like, but he did it twice. He doubled down. I'm like, watch the whole clip. Cory did it twice, too. I don't think Cory was doing a Nazi salute. Like, he's not on my team, but he's an American, and I hope one day he wakes up and wants to fight for America, not fight Republicans. But fucking, like, him doing it twice, I think he was saying, my heart goes out to you. I don't, or saying goodbye to his people that he just talked to. I do not think for a second he was saying Hail Hitler.
Yeah.
Just like I do not for a second think Elon Musk was.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. Anything to
whatever.
It's going to be interesting to see how this shapes up with Elon now that he's in Trump's crosshairs and he's on the other side. See if the left still hates him or if they come back to him now that he's fighting their fight. Like,
or if they're just doing an entire puppet show right now. Like,
yeah, who the fuck knows?
They're just working out a whole skit. They did a whole skit together. That's
dude. I thought
they're still on the same team in my heart.
I thought of one more thing I wanted to bring up with you. This is a saved round that I wanted to ask you about.
Hey.
I can't say that I fully understand this, but I do understand one part. The whole idea of them pulling all the trans people out of the military. The one thing that I understand as part of it is that a lot of them are going in and then making the government essentially pay for the surgeries. That's a problem. That should be an elective, the same as getting tits. Like if you want to do that, you pay for it on your own dime. No insurance covers it. It's not. If that's the reason,
it was
I understand.
It was how the rule is worded is how they've gotten away with that. So yeah, they need to change that rule to make it more. No, I agree with that 100%.
Outside of that, what reason? And I'm not on either side of this issue. But if people want to go and fight for our country and they're trans, I don't necessarily see why that's a problem. Now, I could also understand that in the heat of operations that you don't want any kind of distractions like that. Maybe I don't know. Like, what reason do you think it is that they're like, nah?
Well, on paper, transgenderism and gender dysmorphia is a mental disorder.
Okay, it is.
And the military being black and white in a lot of ways, like the military is, you have a mental disorder.
So you're not allowed in. Okay.
Basically. So like, and again, so on that, I do not see any reason why a transgender person can't serve in my opinion, doesn't need to be in a combat situation. Because a lot of them need a lot of medications too. And we can't just have that. Like, we don't have that. We're out.
Yeah, you don't get that in the field, right?
Yeah, we are out in the middle of godforsaken nowhere, and we can get what we can get in a lot of situations. So someone who needs care, basically, like that, should not be in combat. Not specifically a transgender person either. Like, you can't get in with diabetic pump because if something goes wrong with that in the field, you're dead. Like, you're not going to make it. And if you do make it, you're going to go into shock and we have to carry you. So that's at least 3 of us that are out of the fight right now. And
right.
And so it's not specific. It's not because they are transgender.
Okay.
Is why I say
that makes sense. That's why I asked, because
but I believe that I don't think there should be any reason why they can't do a non-deployable MOS of some sort. Like something that doesn't get in the field, that can have access to medications and treatments and whatever it is. But also, I see where the military is coming from. It's a mental disorder. You can't get in with autism. You can't get in with asthma. You can't get in with flat feet. You can't get in with webbed toes. Like you can't get in if you're too short, too tall, too fat, too this. Like, so if they throw in, if you were born with a vagina and now have a penis or vice versa, you can't get in either. I don't have a logical argument against that either.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's very gray to me. I don't have a real heavy stance on it.
The military is not a social experiment. We are in the business of protecting this land. So the people and again, another polarizing character, Hegseth, I love his attitude towards his job, at least, because his whole job is combat effectiveness and make sure we are ready, make sure we are a strong and powerful nation who can handle anything that could happen. And that's what we need to be at all times, because I don't think the rest of the world hates us as much as they want us to think, but there's a lot of places that don't like America.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of those places have a lot of weapons, like the ones who don't like us, who live in huts and stuff. We're all right. But yeah, no, if you got nukes and weapons and ways to get your people to us and stuff, we need to be able to defend against you. So so I am for, at all times, our military and the standards being high and 100% combat effective. So I would get kicked out in my perfect military.
It's one of those spaces like doctors and other places where you don't want any kind of you want everything to be based on meritocracy alone. Like there are spaces where that is more important than other spaces, and the military would be one of them.
Absolutely. I have had doctors who I know got a D in whichever class they were doing on me.
Yeah.
And it's no fucking fun. And yeah, no, I want the man, woman, whoever, who can put that damn round in the center of that damn target, who can pick up all of that weight and drag it all the way over there, like, and do it in this amount of time, because that's the freaking rule. Like, that's the standard. Like, and if you can't do it, it's not wham, 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 it's because I'm this. Nope, you cannot do it by whatever you are. If you cannot do it by.
Yeah.
And then, yes, any mental disorder, so many of those, like, I don't know that you can have diagnosed ADHD or any of that stuff either. I think that might play a role. I'm not diagnosed, so I don't know what my dad was a recruiter, and he refused to put asthma on anything. I had reactive airway disease when I was a kid. It's asthma you grow out of. But they made sure every doctor who wrote down what it was, reactive airway disease, because that's not a disqualifying thing, because by the time you're 10, you don't have it anymore. And that's what happened. I've never had an attack past 10. But if any doctor wrote down asthma, I was ineligible. Damn. Even though I'd grown out of it at 10, I would have been fully ineligible for the military. There's so many patriots who makes sense. Yeah, but if I can't breathe, if they think I can't breathe when I'm running, like, you want me to be able to have my breath when I get to the target. Like, yeah, no, I get it. But yeah, the one I could grow out of, I'm glad my dad was smart about it. That's for damn sure. I like my life a lot, so it would have sucked to have not been able to join the military.
Yeah, no shit.
And been the only Southern not being able to. Woo! I'd have been a different boy. That's for damn sure.
All this talk. I want to close with this. All this talk about immigrants and things. And there's this family here in this town that stands out to me. And there's no real point to this story other than just to feel good for a second. I don't know what country they're from, and I should ask them. They're definitely from the Middle East somewhere, or Asia. They could be from India or somewhere like that.
The Middle East is technically Asia.
Okay. Good enough.
for the record.
Yeah, I was educated in the United States of America, so
super sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, they run this little liquor store that I get vapes from, right?
Okay.
Every time I walk in there, this dude is always in the best mood, and every time I walk in there, he's always like, "Oh, hey, buddy," like fucking has his little nickname for me and shit. Friend. Yeah,
but buddy, my friend. That's most likely Arabic. So yeah, Middle East.
I don't know
with that
their
accent.
story, but there's just something about someone who, when I see immigrants like that, who come here and look to be so happy and love
Yeah.
the fact that they're in America.
Dude, and honestly, it's most Middle Eastern immigrants I meet and Indian from India. Same thing. They have just a general lightness and happy,
a joy about them. They don't hate America. They're happy to be here.
I'm excited to be part of the team, man.
And these people run a business in a tiny town. That's always the interest for me is like, how'd you end up in this tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, running a fucking liquor store? Like, I would love to hear this. I'd love to get him on the podcast, dude. That'd be sick.
Dude, hey, come on. Especially because, hey, if he immigrated, the dad, you mean?
I don't know if there's any dad. They're all about the same age.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, the elder male, don't approach the female, especially if male's not around.
Yeah.
For the record, that's culturally super not okay in the Middle East. If they are Arabic, that is, I doubt they're as strenuous about it, having moved to Illinois. But over there, like, the woman can get beaten, punished if we were looking at her.
Damn.
Kind of shit. Like, we that was one of the very main things they told us. If there is a woman present, don't even look at her.
I'm assuming she works there by herself a lot and also runs the counter and stuff. So I'm assuming they're
liberal.
They're more chill, but still.
I'd approach the male first, of course. Just, I think most cultures, that's just the way to go about it. But I'm pro that, you learning about him. But please, if you want to ask if he'd come on, because I guarantee there's some stories of survival, getting out of wherever they got out of and transitioning here and doing everything. I guarantee there's a hell of a story there.
I need to talk to him. It's like a Zen moment for me too. It's like every time I go in there, his joy, there's just something about it.
I try to be that for people.
But you know what I mean? Like, there are people like that where you're just like, man, you're always in a good mood. You always seem to be fucking it's just a good feeling. I don't know. Like, I wish more people were like that. I wish more people were just like, I wish I was like that, you know?
I try to, I am that for a lot of people. You know me too well.
I know.
You've seen me on more days that suck than most.
Yeah.
But
I've seen your rough days, man. And
no,
even
that's
then,
what I'm saying. Like, for a lot of different, I try my best. Sorry, that sounded cocky and weird. I worded that funny. I'm that. But no, I try very hard to be that for as many people as I can be. Because and the chair lends to that, because they're like, why is it smiling so big? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get him.
It always puts me in this headspace. It makes me happy to go in there. I smile when I leave, and then I'm like thinking about the dude. I'm always like, man, what's this dude's story? I would love to hear his story.
That makes me happy to hear. I would say I hear it in your voice. You're happy to tell this story. I vote yes. Go the next time dude's at the counter. Ask him. Be like,
I'll ask him.
I don't know if this is weird, but
yeah.
The worst he's gonna say is no.
Yeah.
And then he'll still smile at you every time you come in, I imagine. Like,
I got a couple I'm gonna try to reach out to another race car driver. There's a guy named he drives the same kind of car as Jason Keith does, but he was like coming up as the next great driver in the world. Like, he was one of the best.
OMG.
And his name's Tyler Walker. And then all of a sudden he went on like a 9-year meth binge or some shit, and like was posting, and fans and drivers alike were like, get help. Apparently he stepped away from it for a long time. He got help. He's clean now, and he's back in racing. So I would love to I'm gonna reach out to him before he gets any press and like try to get his story.
I'm gonna change my last name to Roller for that one. I'll be Tyler Roller. He'll be Tyler Walker.
I didn't put it together for some reason. I was like, what the fuck? A little slow on the uptake, man.
I was like, oh shit, that's a hell of a name, man. Tyler the Walker. This is bullshit. You want to bring Tyler the Walker on here?
Tyler the Walker.
I'll be Tyler the Wheeled In. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I haven't reached out to him yet, but I'm gonna start reaching out to some of our past guests too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially the first 20 or so.
Yeah, I want to see which ones of them seem like they'd be good to have back on.
Yeah, check in with some folks.
Yep. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun episode. We went a little long, but it's been happening lately, and I'm I don't. There's times when I want it to stop at 45 minutes, and when we get to the hour, I'm like, "Bah."
Oh, which is fine, yeah. And those episodes need to end in an hour. But if we're cruising,
yeah, I don't see any reason.
there's no
to
reason to
cut
really,
it.
yeah.
If you got bored at the hour mark and you checked out, fuck off. We don't care anyway.
You didn't hear it anyways.
That's right. You didn't hear us say fuck off, but fuck off.
Yeah. And hey, the guys listening, don't tell them we said that.
Yeah, don't tell. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in as usual. We SFH got anything coming up soon?
No, the October 17th and 18th in Apopka, Florida event is still the music event, and then golf tournament.
Right on.
Yeah, it's going to be Apopka, Florida. It's going to be a really good time.
Cool.
Our first ever us event, not us pulling up to someone else's.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure I'll end up there for that for some reason. We'll just have to figure it out. A lot of logistics, a lot of fucking paperwork, a lot of things to consider.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Word of mouth is a big deal, and we're glad you're still fucking here.